Today I'm looking at Masters of the Universe Origins Lord Gr'Asp and Terroar. These figures in Canada, I don't even know how we're supposed to get these figures. It's hard to get so many figures. Sometimes figures show up on Amazon, sometimes they don't. I don't understand how they get distributed. These, I'm not sure, maybe they're Walmart exclusives, US Walmart exclusives, so we don't see Masters of the Universe at all in Canada. One of the easiest ways for me, it's even easier to get than from the States, is me to get them from Europe, which is crazy. I think specifically German. I think there was like some kind of statistics or poll done, and German is the second largest Masters of the Universe collector base. I think the numbers are higher there for the sales of Masters of the Universe figures. I think that was some information that I heard once. Anyway, I got these in the mail from my friend Andy in Germany. Thank you so much for sending me these. I don't know how you're supposed to get them in Canada. I don't know how you're supposed to get them on Amazon. Sometimes I'm lucky. I don't know what the distribution is. I can't figure it out. Sometimes figures show up on Amazon Canada, and sometimes they don't, and it seems to be one figure at a time. I don't know if they have the same cases at the other stores. I like to use Big Bad Toy Store to be sure that I'm going to get what I can get. I think that these might have shown up there, but I was able to, my friend was able to get them to me at a better price too. The shipping from Germany is also, Canadian shipping is horrendous too to get things from Canada. However, it's double the price. Shipping is, it's less than double it costs $40 to send something to Europe. Without having tracking, it's over $100 if it's a track parcel. I think it costs $15 to send a parcel from Germany to Canada. I don't know. And then in the States, parcels in and out of Canada are ridiculously high too. When I saw these, first of all, this one fell off its bubble horribly in shipping, so I don't get to cut off the thing, but also I like that. I'm really surprised that these don't have the slide-on cards, which I prefer most. When I opened the box and I saw these, I guess that feeling is called nostalgic. It's like I could smell and feel, and it took me right back to being a kid and getting new figures, and that's what these are. Now, I think that these are based on prototypes that were never created, if I remember correctly, for these two figures. What also conjured up in me was the flashback when I found out about Forza T figures. They freak me out. I really hope that Mattel makes those, if I'm pronouncing Forza T, whatever those Leo figures. It's such a cool collection of mishmash of original figures, but they switched them up a little bit. I also don't know what's going on with the snake. Why they're going so heavy into snakes. I think one of the designers at Mattel loves snakes or something, because this snake arc that they're on has been happening for a very long time, and I think it is even continuing deeper. But you can see the cross-sell on the back. It looks like they're cross-selling with the cartoon figures. That's another thing with Masters of the Universe Origins, and I'm not going to complain, but they're putting out so many different versions of these. They're putting out the irregular Origins, the cartoon versions. They have the Turtles, and now there's going to be, what is it? Is it Thundercats? Which is exciting in its own right. I can't. Okay, yeah, so it looks like they're cross-selling the same two figures on the back, which, have I reviewed both of those? I think so. I don't know. Maybe these are a long time coming for me. Schematic drawing. I haven't seen one of these in a while. I don't know if they stopped making those. So that's interesting. I'm just going to take him off its bubble, and I'm going to open up the other one. Do they have the same? Oh, this guy I haven't opened yet. We have to open him. Do these guys have the same? Oh, they have the same comic. And, oh yeah. And then also when I order figures on Amazon, a lot of the times they come from the US, but they are making international ones, so it's really weird that, and that's the kind that they usually give to Canada. Are the international cards, but for some reason, Canada has no distribution of these. Now, to some extent, I do understand, being a Canadian. I know our population is so low that it's just not worth it. I think we're the third highest Masters of the Universe collector, though. If my memory is... I try to save these cards as much as I can. I will save them. They're unpunched, which is great. I haven't showed the artwork on the back. Oh, the artwork is a huge excitement too, because I want these figures. I want the prehistoric ones. I don't understand why we don't have Hero and Eldor yet in this line. It really bothers me, because they are two figures that I've wanted since I've known of their inception. Fjorza T figures, I feel the same way about. I wonder if Mattel can do things with the rights of those. Oh, I already took out my schematic drawing. Oh, here it is. Okay. So these are so cool, but these gimmicks are not new, so I'm going to be interesting how I react to those figures. Here's the comic book. It is an international comic, so we have no writing inside, which I do really, really like. Hopefully this guy comes with the same comic, and it's on an American card. That would be really cool, so I could have representation of both types of comic. I love this snake armor Skeletor. It is one of my only liked figures from the 2000X line. I just thought he looked so cool, and he came with this wolf armor He-Man, which also was really distinct and weird and cool and awesome. Yeah, I like to collect all of these. I love this artwork. It tells you what parts can be removed. So let me make sure before I start ripping on things that it's not any different than usual. And I already showed you the comic. It is indeed the same comic, so we don't have to flip through that. Let me see if there's any differences at all. And here is the cool schematic drawing. This guy has more detail. There's something on the back telling you how you must put the figure together, just like Whiplash, I believe. And he does have a lot of Whiplash features. Okay, we've got these guys really strapped in. The package has the really cool scales on it and the Snake Man sticker, which I do love. I love everything about the packaging of all of these and the artwork. I didn't show you. I need a Turbodactyl. I think that's what that thing's name was. I need her. Whoever that barbarian lady is, we need her. This guy looks so cool, also reminding me of Fjorza T. And then the giant. I don't care if they make the giants small or large. We just need to get them. And I am still waiting for Blast Attack and Dragster. They are two of my most wanted. They just look really cool. I think that they're going to look so cool in Origins with added articulation. I'm really curious to see how they make them. And they're just weird, obscure figures two of the most weird, obscure figures that were actually made. So I am excited to get these. The reuse of parts in these, though, does bring the nostalgic, overwhelming, cool, nostalgic. I loved it. It's what made me originally love the Masters of the Universe line so much. All of these. All of these extra parts is amazing. There's a lot of stuff in here. And then in the, what was it? Was it the early, I guess it wasn't. It was the later 90s that when the internet arose and we discovered Rosity, blew my mind. All right. So this figure uses one of my least favorite accessories that was ever produced. Unfortunately, we'll talk about that in a second. The deco on him is incredible. Wow. I'm kind of a hater of deco. I don't know the best way to take this cape out without. Wow. I guess they saved on these guys with, they saved money. I'm trying not to make noise. They saved money on sculpting these guys, so I guess that's why they came with so much. They seem really souped up. Okay, I guess we'll start with this guy, which I don't even know what his name is now. Lord Gr'Asp. I'm not a fan of deco. I like the figures when they're unpainted, but they did a really good job, and it looks pretty neat and tidy. This pattern down the arm is incredible. It looks so good. I guess when it's done so well, I mean, it's this whatever the application is on the way that it's done, it's not hand painted, so there's no, which, I mean, I do like when actual people do things, but the application has gone on very nicely, almost printed, and it looks so good. The fact that they successfully did it on the chest and on the arms, and it still seems to be bright pops of color. It's not shading or anything, which is mostly the part of paint that I don't like. But it's done in a popping great way. Now this accessory is my least favorite accessory in all Masters of the Universe Origins, unless I'm mistaken. I believe it is Scareglow's cape. If not, they made one that was very similar. It's this tiny little rope, this thin. These figures are so. This is what I like about toys. Hunky, chunky toys. That's why this is toohunky toys here, because I like big chunks of toy that are sturdy and durable. But this little tiny rope, it just doesn't look like it fits into the line for me. I'd have to say that his head is kind of dinky, and his eyes are kind of small. It's kind of less cartoony than I like. But it is painted very, very well in the way that it is just big patches, bright pops of color. It does kind of look comic booky, so they painted this intricate sculpt. I guess also that is what I like about Masters of the Universe, is that they do have intricate sculpts, but they're just perfectly, not too much detail, but just enough detail. Now, what is this a mix of? We've got Scareglow's cape, we've got Clawful's claw painted up differently, we've got, I could be mistaken in this being a new head, it could be one of the weirder snake men that they've made in recent times and just painted it differently. A standard body with the standard boots and shorts, and then we've got Skeletor finned arms that fit so nicely. The best part about him is definitely the paint application. I love how the orange is used here, and then we have the yellow used throughout, and that it goes all over the body, so the orange is nicely dispersed. Well, we do have mostly at the lower half of the body is where the orange is used, and then the belt matches the cape. The matching is a big part of what I like in Masters of the Universe too is that we've got these colors that define who the character is, and I guess that could be said about this guy. He's orange and base black with orange details, and whatever dirty green this is doesn't match the green snake, but that snake matches his eyes. So all of this stuff is pulled together, and that's what I like. And the fact that this is done in such a weird yellow color is, yeah, it's just, you know, this as a solid red claw, and they just changed it up and made it special. Is really, really cool. Very, very cool reuse of parts. I like this. This is the kitchen sink of Masters of the Universe. So this is why we love this. Is everything in there. All right, Lord Gr'Asp, spelled so weird. Oh, and he comes with amazing accessories. Again, repeated stuff. This is the classic King His shield. It's so reminiscent of the first one. It brings back that nostalgia feel. This also, the snake staff, which looks exactly the same as the original. So and the colors that these are in, that's kind of what, it's like, they're so familiar, but they're done in different colors, and they're done in these matching colors. And then how does he get to use both of these at the same time? He doesn't. Which is incredible, because he comes with more than he can even deal with. That's another great thing. So what can I do? Can I shield him up and staff him up at the same time? Yes, we can, because we need to see all of that stuff together, because it looks so good. Yeah, I'm super impressed. Despite his, I don't know, his head is a little, I don't know, long, and the proportions are a bit off for this rope. That rope drives me crazy, and the face is a little, I don't know, it just, it's growing on me. It really is. It's just that rope. So cool. Let's take a look at this other guy, Terroar. Now this is such a weird mix match of parts. I don't know about this snake belt, this whole snake loincloth that must have been used for someone before. I should probably have all of my snake men out today to check this out. It's very odd how this is fitting on. I better definitely check out my schematic drawing to see that I'm not ripping anything apart, because this guy's got a lot of click in place kind of stuff. I can't. Oh, it's sculpted on, is it? I don't know. I don't know if it comes off or not. I probably shouldn't pull it off because it's not coming off. But this part's got to be a new mold to fit on his very distinct elongated body. I'm wondering if this is, yeah, it's got to be. I should have Whiplash here too, but this whole part has got to be Whiplash's body. In fact, the arms, maybe they didn't have those designed yet for when Whiplash was made. I should definitely have Whiplash here for this video. But unfortunately I don't. He has Trapjaw's arm attachments. Despite if this is the same piece, they might have had to redesign this to fit onto his body. And here's something that I didn't realize. I think that people have said that, I think even I, in my review of Trapjaw, that mine didn't twist, but I think it was just really tight plastic. I think that they all have the same articulation. I could be wrong with different releases of those. He has Mosquito's boots, which is crazy, and Trapjaw's arm, and Whiplash's whole torso. So I mean, he's basically Whiplash with different parts on him, which is, he's really heavily Whiplash. This guy isn't heavily anybody. He's not heavily clawful or anything. He just has the claw. But this guy is. They did everything. However, maybe that's not so true. This is weird. Maybe this does come off. Because how am I supposed to squeeze this thing under here? it shows you that, oh, it does, they show an arrow that points under here. So I guess you're just supposed to, this is, it looks like this is not coming off. This is not a mix and match part. This is, once you get it in, it stays in. It's just so it can fit into the package better. Okay, here, I did it. Snap it into place. There we go. Not that I would ever want to take that off again. He doesn't have a spring waist, but I'm sure you can whip things around. Does it say? No. It just says to add the pieces. The tail is really cool. It looks very much like Whiplash's. Again, like the paint detail done on this one. Just the snake in green. Silver matches the boots and the loincloth together. We've got the body part, the black scales painted very, very nicely, perfectly well done. And the hands are a bit thicker. They look really, yeah, I don't know what snake man had those hands, but that's really cool. And then they give him the extended, what's the guy's name? Rattler? Is it Rattler's neck? Rattler and tongue lasher, yeah. What is Rattler? Rattler should be called Necko. Because his neck is such a huge part of him. But here we go. I guess, why would you pose him without this neck? Because it is such a very distinct look. Not understanding why they didn't match this to the black. Perhaps they studied animals more closely than I did, other reptiles more closely. I don't have an example of him. Make sure that I'm putting the neck on properly. Yes. But, I mean, I want to use all of the parts, so he is definitely going to keep that neck in at all moments. His head can't really, he always has to look down, unfortunately. Even when he's looking up, oh, yeah, just, his no chin is really being, he doesn't have, you know, the most handsomest profile. He's not the handsomest character, but I do like his round head. It definitely more cartoony and cute, creepy thing that I like. Oh, I wonder which accessory he had on in the box. I don't know. I took it out. But he does come with 3 accessories. We've got the gun. Oh, does he have the belt? He doesn't have the belt to store them in, unfortunately, because they all have the hooks on them where you can store them. Am I missing something on the figure that has a place of storage? No, these oversized boots are crazy. They do add this space element to it. Oh, I didn't even notice how they're made. They're attached at the very top of the boot. You can see the whole, I can't even see where they're attached when they're in movement, but very, very strange. Always thought that these boots looked really weird, not in a bad way. Mosquito boots, space boots, super space boots. And, I mean, yeah, this guy is kind of a cyborg with his silver furry underpants. So weird, matching his silver boots. Like, it's wrong in so many ways, but that's why it's so cool. All right. Love this guy. He's got the gun, he's got the claw, and he's got the hook. And hopefully I didn't drop any of the other pieces, and should probably check and look. I liked when they had those little plastic bags that they put the stuff in, but I guess I didn't forget about any of the accessories. Can I? Yeah, they show them all here, so there we go. And then of course he would be able to mix and match the accessories with the different characters that have the same peg and hole joint for these. Very, very cool. I love that the arm's articulated. I mean, that added part, a bionic robot articulated arm. I want so many of my action figures to have this. I hope we can get 12-inch scale figures like this one day. I want a pulsar. I'm also in a pulsar in 1/6 scale. Can they do that? Can they Major Matt Mason? Can he join the likes of this? First, I want Fjordsati. Then who else? Well, first I want the figures that they made. Then I want Fjordsati. Then I want then I want Pulsar and the other guy from the Pulsar. There's two figures. They're 14-inch figures. They need to shrink them down to this size. They need to shrink those down to 12-inch size figures too. I want Major Matt Mason. I want Big Jim done in this style. They totally should and could, and I would be very excited for that. Let's hope that happens. And Max Steel is the other Mattel line that I would love for them to in-house produce. I know that they're doing a lot of collaborations outwards. I was very happy with Sunman too. Gave me the same nostalgic finding new figures in the store that you didn't even know about 80s feeling. That is what I'm getting from these. I love the mashups. They're ridiculous. And I love them. So cool. So weird to get more Snake Men. But I guess keep them coming. And more are coming too. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you again real soon. Happy New Year.